The escalating threat of nuclear confrontation. Introduction to current tensions. The geopolitical landscape is witnessing a dangerous escalation, particularly in relations between the United States and Russia, where the specter of nuclear war looms larger than in recent history. This tension was markedly increased when President Biden's administration approved the use of U.S.-provided long-range missiles by Ukraine to strike deep within Russian territory, a move that Russian President Vladimir Putin had previously warned against, labeling it as crossing a critical red line. Analysis of Biden's decision. This decision by the Biden administration can be seen as a significant step on the escalation ladder towards a potential Third World War. The historical context here is crucial. It echoes the Cold War's duck and cover drills and the hair-trigger tension of the Cuban Missile Crisis. But the current scenario might be even more precarious. The world has seen such crises before, but the current situation is compounded by advancements in nuclear technology and warfare strategy. Russia's nuclear doctrine shift. Russia has responded by lowering its threshold for nuclear weapon use, as outlined in a recent update to its nuclear doctrine. This adjustment indicates that Moscow might resort to nuclear options if its territorial integrity or that of its allies, like Belarus, is threatened by conventional forces. This move isn't about recklessness but reflects a strategic calculation in response to what Russia perceives as provocations by the West through NATO's expansion and military support to Ukraine. The rationality of nuclear threats. Historically, figures like Herman Kahn, a nuclear strategist, were seen as alarmists for contemplating nuclear conflict scenarios. However, today, discussions about nuclear war have permeated mainstream discourse, no longer seen as merely theoretical. The precision of modern nuclear weapons means that their use might be contemplated not just for annihilation, but for tactical military advantage, potentially making a limited nuclear engagement conceivable, albeit still fraught with the risk of escalation. Potential for limited nuclear war. The concept of a limited nuclear war has gained credence due to advancements in missile technology. Hypersonic missiles, which are both fast and maneuverable, enhance the credibility of Putin's threats. Yet, the idea of controlling nuclear exchanges is fraught with uncertainty. Once the nuclear threshold is crossed, the risks of miscalculation or unintended escalation are immense, potentially leading to a broader conflict. The impact of escalation. Should the Ukraine conflict escalate further before any change in U.S. leadership could influence policy, the incoming President Donald Trump's promise to end the war swiftly would face significant hurdles. The dynamics of nuclear brinkmanship do not easily reverse course. Furthermore, if nuclear weapons were to be used, even in a limited capacity, the immediate effects would be catastrophic, with potential for long-term global consequences including nuclear winter, massive loss of life, and a reshaping of global power structures. Long-term consequences of nuclear conflict. A full-scale nuclear war between superpowers like the US and Russia would not only devastate both nations but could lead to a power vacuum filled by other emerging nations, particularly those in the Southern Hemisphere less likely to be directly targeted. The aftermath would involve not just physical destruction but also economic collapse, environmental degradation, and possibly the rise of new superpowers like China. Safeguarding against nuclear fallout. For individuals, the threat of nuclear war necessitates unconventional preparedness. Geographical relocation. The safest locations during a nuclear conflict would be in the Southern Hemisphere, away from primary targets and somewhat insulated by global weather patterns from immediate fallout. Preparatory measures. Stockpiling necessities, understanding emergency protocols, and having access to safe shelters are crucial. Financial safeguards. Assets like gold and cryptocurrencies could potentially retain value post-conflict, given their nature as forms of money not tied to any government or bank, likely to be affected by nuclear devastation. The conclusion: the current trajectory in U.S.-Russia relations, underscored by NATO's actions and Russia's nuclear policy adjustments, signals an urgent need for diplomatic de-escalation. The world stands at a critical juncture where rational policymaking, historical lessons, and a global dialogue on peace and security must prevail to avert a nuclear catastrophe. The implications of such a conflict extend beyond immediate casualties to threaten global civilization as we know it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share, and like the video. Check out these other From the Other Side specials.